This question is this. So we had a delegate in several pieces of correspondence suggesting that we get to zero increase. And I'm wondering whether staff can tell us what that would do. Because there are certain things that we're committed to. For example, union contracts, that's about half our staff. Things have to go up for that. There's inflationary pressures and so forth. So there's some costs that we've either committed to or we have, we're legislated to do. So right away, we'd be looking at cutting somewhere. So I think when folks, I think this is to what our CAO was saying earlier, is what would that mean? And do people still want it, knowing what that would mean? So I don't know if it's possible for you to simulate what a zero budget would do in terms of cutting service or elsewhere, cutting capital, drawing down reserves. I'd be interested to at least be able to share that with the community because they've asked us. And so we can say, this is what it would be. Are you still on for it? And they may be. Some may well be, and they may have other suggestions for where they'd like to cut. But we don't have that information to even share with them to have a conversation, an informed, evidence-based conversation. So, is that? I see the CAO, so I don't know who wants to go first, but. Okay. The hot potato to you. Go ahead, Hassaan.
Thank you, Mayor. So, yes, I mean, it can be done. However, we are then going to get back into the sky is falling narrative, because then it actually will be falling, right? So I know there was one delegate who said 0%. Burlington, as you all know, and the residents here know it as well, we're not, for a while, a 0% municipality. We've already made decisions and investments in facilities. We're on the growth pathway. We just had, I believe it was Councillor Galbraith who said, chicken or the egg. You wait for all of these residences to go up and for people to be living in them before you start to then collect the money or make investments in community amenities, or do you try and do it at the same time in a smart way? Well, before even my arrival at the City of Burlington with this council and the senior staff, you've decided you're going to do it in a more progressive way, which is why we have so many master plans, which is the right way to do it, because you're not flying blind anymore. You're not saying, we are going to need something in transportation, we are going to need something in transit, we're going to need something in parks. You know exactly what you're going to need because you've done those assessments. So we're not a 0% growth municipality. That's the simple answer. Can we model it and show where the cuts will come? Of course. We can even show what a 10% reduction in property taxes will do. So it's just, we can undertake that exercise, but I'm not sure. I think that derails us from the path we're trying to go on, which is let's show the value of what we're offering. Let's be transparent about the funding sources for each service area, which was to your question earlier as well. Do we show them by department? Do we show, there's various ways to show it, but we'll provide that clarity. And I think that maybe starts a discussion in a new way with sort of a new engagement push with the community. But we'll take direction to do it. If you'd like, I'm just cautioning that is a sky is falling narrative, and one that quite frankly is not sustainable at all for the city to even contemplate for a little while, not forever. We are, when you look at the simulation exercises and with our focus on growth, the permit to pipeline focus, this is a municipality that has recognized we have a bit of a burning platform issue, which is our growth has been anemic, and that has a big financial impact. So growth is not just meeting, population targets or growth plan targets from the province. It is actually the most sustainable path to future financial sustainability of the city. So we're not saying be endlessly patient with the city where we can get to at least living within inflationary, but we are getting there. And so, that's the point I wanted to make.